Hi there. Today I'm going to talk you through a partial process exemplar for the monologue task for the play Macbeth. Just a recap of where we come from. We have read the play Macbeth. We've done work surrounding the introduction and context of the play and explored narrative elements, plot, theme, character, setting, and also had a look at symbols and motifs. We've done an explicit thinking skill lesson, which it will establish the basis of what you need to construct the monologue and also the essay. We are going through genre and exemplar here, and then you're going to get stuck into drafting and planning your individual monologue task, submitting that for feedback, and then presentations will commence in week 7. For this task, you're required to create a monologue, and in your monologue, you will adopt the role of one of the characters from the play and explore that character's thoughts and feelings in relation to events of the play. For this specific example, we're having a look at a monologue in the character of Macbeth. Before we have a look at the exemplar, it's important to have a solid foundation of what a monologue is. An interior monologue is a speech given by the character in which they convey their thoughts and feelings in a chosen situation. In the monologue, the character might recall, justify, or explain their actions, describe how they feel about other characters, situations, and issues, or discuss their past, present, and future life. You'll need to imagine beyond what Shakespeare has told you. This will need to be done by filling in the gaps and making up some of the unknown information. However, it's important to note that you cannot change events or outcomes in the play, nor can you be a character in their final moments. A quick note on structure, it does vary from a text intervention. So within a monologue structure, you need to introduce your internal conflict. You're at a semi-heightened state there. You're then going to drop back down in the tension and reflect on events that reveal feelings and emotions of the character and draw upon themes of the play on your way up to the climax. So you'll note there that there are a number of opportunities or events to reflect on prior to the point of you getting to your climax. During that time, the tension is increasing to the climax, where it's the character's most heightened emotions shown in regards to their internal conflict, and then there's some form of resolution, a resolve, a decision made, and future actions to be considered. Here we've got the initial internal conflict being introduced. That's the dilemma for the character. We then start reflecting on some of the events which reveals the feelings and emotions of the character, and it draws upon themes and symbols from the play on the way up to the climax. So is this a dagger I see in front of me with its handle pointing toward my hand? Come, let me hold you. I don't have you, but I can still see you. Fateful apparition, it is not possible to touch you as well as see you. Or are you nothing more than a dagger created by the mind, a hallucination from my fevered brain? I can still see you, and you look every bit as real as this other dagger tucked within my robes, the one given me by my beloved. You'll notice in that particular excerpt there that it's spoken in character, okay? It's first person, dramatic performance with reference to the characters, other characters in the play, my beloved being Lady Macbeth. There is reference to other themes and plot events as well. It's emotive and descriptive language, and we've got a varying sentence structure there to achieve that dramatic effect. It's not just short, simple sentences or long, complex sentences. We vary it up for that purpose. Here we're continuing to reflect on events and revealing more feelings and emotions of the character, again drawing upon themes and symbols from the play to build up to the climax. We do get to a point of climax here. It's that most heightened emotion in relation to the conflict. It's important to note within your formatting that your stage directions are in italics and square brackets. There are thematic references throughout your entire monologue. In this particular excerpt, we're looking at the theme of masculinity. There are also excerpts that mirror the original script in places, and there is a motif reference to blood. You need to be aware that in this particular excerpt, there needs to be significantly more reflection on events before reaching a climax. So we've just given you a partial exemplar here to show you how it will work toward getting to that point. You need to provide far more in-depth detail. Here we reach our resolution. It's our powerful ending where we've come to a decision or made a resolve. The hard ground, don't listen to the direction of my steps. Don't send a warning clanging before me to herald my vile deed. I do not want your echo to reach back where I stand and break the terrible stillness of this moment, a silence that is so appropriate for what I'm about to do. While I stay here musing, Duncan lives. The more I talk, the more my courage cools. My lady will think less of man should I fail her tonight. I will delay no longer. Forthwith my fate lies. Again, within that particular excerpt, we've got some allusion to the guilt of the actions that Macbeth is doing there. Plenty of first person pronouns, and the language and structure reflects Shakespeare's style. So where you think and you look at the sentence structure and you go, that doesn't make sense, so that's not the clearest way. Remember how Shakespeare crafted his work. Okay, you do need to reflect that. Whilst we don't need these and those and dots and lots of, Elizabethan English, we do need to look at the sentence structure where we can. Again, reflecting on the theme of masculinity, and we've got some short, abrupt statements in there to build tension. A general note on language there, you should try and use figurative language within your monologue, simile, metaphor, personification, etc. That will assist you in crafting visuals for the listener. We also want to see emotive language. So instead of using the word love or hate, consider adore, worship, or detestation, revulsion, etc. Try and vary your word choice. Don't use the simple word when you can use something that fits in the context. In saying that, don't just hit a thesaurus and get every word under the sun that doesn't fit in what you're trying to say. You need to choose strategically for a purpose. Vary sentence structure, as we've said, to achieve your dramatic effect. And again, a reminder about stage directions. They need to be in square brackets and italics. Final considerations in regards to presentation of your monologue. You need to be convincing in the role of your chosen character. So this includes your background knowledge of plot, themes, characters, symbols, and motifs. Check your facts. Make sure that you're not reflecting on something that hasn't happened. Maintenance of role is also established through strategic decisions surrounding costume, music, and complementary features. You must practice and rehearse to ensure a polished performance. It's imperative that we get this right. Good luck.